Hello everybody, this is MattHawes of the Happy Show. I'm here today with another video vlog, and something interesting happened the past week for me. A good friend of mine, he was going to the Goodwill here in Evansville, and there's several Goodwill stations, and of course, you know, they sell a bunch of used goods that people have decided to discard from their homes or what have you, and sometimes you can come across some pretty cool stuff that way. And what happened was he went this last weekend and scored a pretty good batch of albums of LPs, you know, the vinyl records back from the 60s and 70s, and apparently they had just put out a whole slew of Beatles albums. He gave them to me as a gift, basically. My birthday isn't for many months, but he considered it an early birthday gift, he said, so I thought that was really nice of him. And I really appreciate that. I want to share these with you.
Let it be, let it be, let it be.
What I have here, the very first thing, is the Beatles Tapes, which presents some interviews with the Beatles from the late 60s, early 70s. It's actually a double album here from Pickwick Records. This was, as it says here, a British import. And it was the Beatles album featuring Tony Sheridan. With the Beatles, let's see, is this the German? Yeah, the German version of this album is Les Beatles. Les Beatles. Twist and Shout featuring She Loves You, basically. Songs and Pictures of the Fabulous Beatles from VJ Records. The Beatles Greatest Hits Volume 2 Parlophone. So this, I assume, made and distributed. Okay, I was gonna say I know Parlophone was the British company, but this is also, like it says here, made and distributed in Australia. The Beatles Beat, another foreign. Let's see, this looks to be German. I assume it's German there. A German release. I'm going by the language on the back here as well. The Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl. And see, the thing that's interesting for me, as far as I know, I've been, like I said, a Beatles fan for many years. I don't think this thing's released on CD because I don't own it on CD. It's probably the only version I don't already of their released music that I don't have on CD form. So I was glad to get the album. And the thing is, these albums, as I can probably show you right here, I'm going to show you with this album, they're in nice shape. I mean, it's not just on there. Of course, you got the sleeve art. Another thing that was pretty cool about old albums was sleeve art. But if you look, I don't know if you could tell on the video there, but this is actually in good shape. And look, the fold-out picture with a bunch of different Beatles images. Here's Beatles Rarities, which that was another thing that wasn't released on CD that I can recall either, but a lot of these songs on the back, they were released on the Past Masters DVD, or CD, I'm sorry, the CDs. And the Past Masters CDs released, basically it was a way of releasing a lot of stuff that was on just the singles that didn't actually make album cuts in the United States, at least. And then here's the Beatles double album. This was one of their greatest hits albums that was released in the early 70s. There was another one, if I remember correctly, that was Red. Here's a version of Magical Mystery Tour. And let's try to figure out which... Oh, is it German? Yeah, I think this is the German version. The German version of Magical Mystery Tour. Here we go. We have a French version of Yellow Submarine. And down there it says, Nothing is Real. It's the Beatles White Album. Now, a lot of people might be, if they're familiar enough with the Beatles, will know what the White Album is. But it's the French version. As you can see, there's a sticker there. It's white vinyl. That's right. The double albums are on white vinyl. This is the booklet that came with it. But it folds out and, you got the different pictures and such. 4 pictures of the Beatles that came with the album. the 4 different pictures of the Beatles. So that's really cool. We have the Let It Be album. Now, as far as I can tell, yes, Capitol Records. So I think this is the U.S. release here because it's Capitol Records. Let's see, Essential Beatles, which is basically a best of album. See here? I think this one's from Holland. Look at that pretty cool art there. It looks to me to be another best of album. There's a lot of different songs here from their different albums throughout their career, but it's really a cool album. Again, the cool thing about these is there are a lot of foreign versions that, you know, we didn't get this in the United States, this best of collection, and that artwork there, so that's kind of neat to get that. And then the last 2 things I have here, one is the interview disc, but I think what is really neat about it is their picture. This one's a picture disc. See, and picture disc, for those of you who don't know, maybe too young to know or what have you, they're vinyl records that you could play, but they had the pictures on it. It's like, you know, see on both sides, it's just like a big album, but it has pictures. Last but not least here, we have the Sgt Pepper's picture disc. That's right, it's the Sgt Pepper's picture disc. This one is the Capitol release, so it was released in the 70s, and a big picture of the album, of the drum. That's another cool thing. So yeah, I hope you didn't mind going through this collection with me, and I thought it was really nice to get these. And again, all the albums are in nice shape, and most of the covers are in good shape, and I was really excited to get it. So that's a look at my Beatles collection I scored lately, thanks to a friend of mine named Rob. Thanks, Rob. And that's it for my video vlog for today. Yay!
Simple,